The El Chapo trial resumes today after a long Thanksgiving break, entering week 3 with new witnesses. Week 2 brought unexpected and surprising details about the Sinaloa cartel, including accusations of government bribery and details about several murders. So joining me now with a full recap is CBS News legal analyst Rikki Klieman. Yeah, so Rikki, last time you were here, we talked about, the lingering information that the attorneys would want the jury to be left with over the Thanksgiving weekend. Just remind people, give us a recap of last week, some of the highlights.
Well, what we have to remember is that the prosecution started off with a really significant witness, and that witness is Mr. Zambada.
Right.
And Mr. Zambada was the accountant and the logistical manager for the Sinaloa cartel.
He knows where the money is, where it went.
And not only where it went, but how it went,
right,
which tied into some of the government's other witnesses who were from the DEA or Customs and Border Patrol. And of course, a picture is worth 1,000 words. So let's think about some of the pictures that also took place last week. We had one agent who talked about stopping a car at the border and then taking apart the door panels. And in that car was $1 million in cash. So you have this extraordinary photo. We have another agent who talks about the fact that cocaine was packed in jalapeno pepper cans. And this is how smart the cartel was. They also weighted those cans so that they would be the exact weight that a jalapeno pepper can would have. Very, very smart. Yeah. This cartel has been years in the making. We have to go all the way back to the 80s, and now, of course, we're at the year that we are, 2018, and the cartel is still going on, which, of course, comes back to the defense. So the defense is started from its opening statement and will continue all the way through the trial with the idea that, yes, there is no question that Mr. Guzman, also known as El Chapo, was part of the Sinaloa drug cartel, but he was not numero uno. He was not, as the Italians would have said in the mafia cases, the capo di tutti capo. He was a guy who was there and working there, but the real head of the Sinaloa drug cartel, according to the defense, is Mr. Zambada, the witness's brother. And his nickname is El Mayo.
I take it they don't get along anymore.
Well, I would think not. And you have to remember that Jesus Zambada, who is the person who testified, is getting a sweetheart deal for all of his years in this cartel, because you would be facing multiple lives in prison. And in this case, he may do about 10 years, which for these people, after what they did and how much money they made, you're talking about billions of dollars.
Right, getting off lightly if it turns out to be that. So moving forward now, week 3, what can we expect?
Well, one of the things that we have had titillating pleasure about is, as we look forward to this week, is we are told there is going to be yet another cooperating witness. There are many in this case, and they're way up in the cartel. But this one is so significant, and it is so dangerous, allegedly, for him to testify. I'm assuming it's a him, not a her, that he cannot be drawn by the sketch artists in the room. And I find that really intriguing, that how high up is this guy, and what does he know that Jesus Zambada didn't know, and who is out to get him, and how would they ever get to him anyway? So I think that that's really significant. We're all still waiting, of course, for the defense opening statement to come true, which is that the defense says, and they keep trying to get it in, and the government keeps filing motions under seal, that the bribes of corruption went all the way up to the president of Mexico. So far, they haven't gotten there. They've gotten close, but not quite there.
Oh, well, it's definitely entertaining. Everything that it promised to be. Rikki Klieman, thank you so much.
Thank you, Emery.